Good afternoon. I'm Tony Sham. There's no doubt that ever since COVID struck, it's close on 2 years now, that things have been tough for business people. Business has been tough, and not all have survived. And so you may look at the downturn and feel a bit hopeless, but here's the thing I'm absolutely sure of. I say this with absolute certainty. There will be a turnaround. In fact, the turnaround may already be in progress. Why am I so sure of this? I'll tell you why. For my trouble, I'm a trained statistician, and every time I've examined every single financial downturn that there's ever been in history, and some far worse than COVID, there's always been a point at where things turn around. So my question to you is, are you prepared for the turnaround? Are you geared to make the most of that turnaround when it happens? I'm Tony Sham. I describe myself as a marketing enthusiast, and I love all things marketing. And so I love looking at what parts of marketing are working, what's going to help people be in line so when the turnaround hits full bore, we're there to ride the wave. Thanks. So when I first became interested in marketing, which is way back, marketing, believe it or not, when I studied, was taught as an exact science. You do this, you do that. Yes, hard scientific principles on which marketing is based. You can throw that out the window. It just doesn't work like that anymore. Some people say marketing is half art and half science. And my observation is that as time goes by, it becomes more art rather than science. Yes, the science is there, you can't ignore it, but there is the art, and there's no way that somebody can know for sure, do this and this is going to work, do that and that's going to work. But what you can do is you can give yourself the best chance of making it work, and what you can do is to constantly be testing what is working and what is not. I often tell people, it doesn't matter what you think good marketing is. It doesn't matter what I think good marketing is. It only matters what the customer thinks is good marketing. How do we know that? They either respond to your marketing or they don't. You may design award-winning marketing, and it doesn't mean a thing if the people out there don't connect with it. And so the acid test for marketing is, what do our community, what do our target market say about it? Do they connect with it? If they do, then it's good marketing. And if they don't, no matter how pretty it may look, it's not working. So always bear that in mind, please. So I'm looking forward to spending a bit of time with you, looking at some of those basic principles that are always in play in marketing, whether it was in time gone by and whether it's right now. Yes, marketing is art and it is science, but I tell you what, you can be as artistic as you like. You have to have the scientific principles that are behind it working properly. And so we look at some of the things I believe that are important pillars, foundations on which all marketing is based, and we do this to give ourselves the best chance of making our marketing work as time goes forward. Our goal is not only to be there when the turnaround does hit hard, but our goal is to be there right now in these muddled, difficult and uncertain times. Here's the thing that I've learned by observation, and I'm a compulsive observer. There are people right now who are nailing it with excellent marketing, listening to what the market is saying to them and turning that into messaging that the people to whom the marketing is aimed at are connecting. And so, don't you want to be a part of that? Don't I want to be a part of that? Damn sure. So let's see where we go. let's have a look at some of those basic principles that we have to consider. They're not hard and fast rules, but they're principles. You have to take them into consideration. And if you do, they help your marketing get more focused. If you do, they help your marketing get more relevant. And if you do, they help your business get more business in through the door, which ultimately is the goal not only of marketing, but of all business. So I'm really excited, as I always am. I'm looking forward to being with you, and I trust that you're going to enjoy the ride as we go along. Thanks.
What next? The story you need to work on to grow from here. Now you've started your business, you've got a product out there, you've got a service going, you have some feedback, you've got an idea of who your customers are, you've got some engagement going on social media, and that's great. I hope that all this content has helped you figure out how you can get going in your business without the big funny stuff, but just small, simple steps that can gradually help you get out there. So think about, can you get a mentor? Should you diversify your customers? Should you get new people to be customers? Should you get old people to buy new products? What are some different things you can work with that you can tweak to get you more sales and more traction in your business? Think about how you can continue to share on social media so people know about your story. Think about where you failed and what you need to improve. Think about what's working well and what isn't, and how you change those. It's okay if your business isn't working out how you thought. Take the feedback, adjust your product and service, change your market. It's okay to be agile, and that agility will help you stay in business. If you've enjoyed these 10 quick snippets on getting out there and starting your business, head over to our website or use this link and forward it to a friend. It's great to have more people be in business together so that we can continue to grow our community of entrepreneurs. And it's better to fail together, I promise you that, but also learning together as we grow our businesses. We hope that this has been valuable to you, and we wish you the best as you grow your business.
You're watching HybriCON. I'm Ursula Buerta, and I have the honor to be speaking to Tony Sham about marketing. Hello, Tony.
Hi, Ursula.
Tony, I love what you said about testing things out. There's no hard or fast rules. I'm starting my business. I'm testing. I need principles. What advice would you have for somebody like me?
Well, I essentially look at about 5 things that you have to have in consideration, Ursula. The first of these is what I consider to be the most important, and it's what I would call differentiation. And my mentor says, if I am your ideal prospect, why should I use your product and service rather than your competitor? You can't tell me how great you are. You can't tell me we're much better than what they are, because everybody's much better than their competitors. You've got to tell me what makes you different to those competitors. What is it that you bring that they don't? Because if I understand that, then I know why I'm coming to you and rather than to your competitors. These days in most markets, there's a huge number of players, and you have to have something, I believe, that connects with the people that are of interest to you.
So it was interesting you said something that makes you different, not necessarily better. You focus on the difference.
I've no regard for better because everybody thinks they're better. And in fact, I look at most marketing that's out there with disdain because they really, my mentor again says, your bragging makes me ill when you tell me how good you are, and because really everybody feels the same way. Tell me about how you're going to make my life better, and I'll give you my attention.
Stunning. So that's the first principle.
Yes.
What's the second one?
The second one is very close to that. Who is it for?
Okay.
Who is it for? Because you can't be for everybody. If you think that you're for everybody, you end up being for nobody.
Yeah.
We all, the best businesses, are speaking to people who are made in a particular way. If you take just the classic marketing case, Apple, for phones and devices, they are not necessarily the best tech. They're not the cheapest by far, yet there's something about them that appeals to a particular sector. And those sector not only appeals to them, but they have quite a loyal following.
Yeah.
Do they worry that their competitors sell more phones than what they do? No, it's not for them. They're not in that really mass market. They are there for this segment of people. So that's at a very broad level. But all businesses, especially in our area, business to business services, we can't think that we're for everybody. What is it? Well, who are those people with whom we connect best? And there's something, Ursula, that's so obvious. How do I know who those people are? I'm throwing you out. Well, every business, no matter how good or have to some extent a loyal following.
Yeah.
Everybody, go and have a look. What makes those people love you? Because if in my observation is that even the worst businesses have people who love them. And if you can understand who those people are and what it is about what you do that makes them love you, then you're getting to understand who is it for.
It's very powerful. I just want to add to this.
Yes.
Your eyes sparkle when you speak. It's fantastic. But I've generated a lot of energy into my marketing.
Yes.
And I realized that it wasn't fruitful because I wasn't speaking to my client.
Yes.
And
yes.
I've learned who my client is, and I realized, oh, but they don't hang out where I've been marketing. So it's crucial.
Absolutely. And then direct your marketing where your network hang out. Some people are using mass media and their clients don't hang out there.
Yes.
Where do you connect with those people? Maybe it's on a LinkedIn broadcast. Maybe that's more effective than going on, just for argument's sake, TV or being online. Everybody's online these days in one form or another. Where do they hang out? Where are you going to connect with those people? Less is more. I was very fortunate some years ago to do Seth Godin's training, the marketing seminar.
Oh, wow.
And he says, the smaller your target market is, the better. Not the bigger it is. Marketers kind of want to gravitate to the biggest target market. We want more people. But the smallest target market is going to tell you who are those people who really connect with you. Once you understand that, then obviously you want to expand it. You want to find more people who are like that. But you can't do that unless you've understood who is it for. Who's it for?
So to summarize that, it's go small before you can start going big almost.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every brand that ever there was, you can take Coca-Cola, which maybe is the most pervasive brand. They started off with a few loyal followers 150 years ago who found this in a chemist store, I believe, and said, wow, we really like this drink. Only the people in that very local area had ever heard of it, and yet the message spread, and now everybody in the world knows about it. We're not all Coca-Cola, but the principle is is the one that works.
It's there. Thank you so much. We're going to get back after the break because I have so much more that I want to learn from you. But the key takeaway here is to know your customer, know your client, focus in on them, and then be where they are.
Yes.
Be where they are.
That's it.
We will be back after the break.
Okay.
What is presence? Presence is your ability to persuade, to influence, and to inspire. And while I speak about presence as you coming across as articulate and poised and polished, another very overlooked aspect of projecting presence is to really listen to others. You see, the way you make other people feel is as important as you coming across as confident, competent, and credible. So for today, I ask you to just take a moment and do what Scott Peck, the author, says, which is put yourself aside in a conversation. Or as Bill Nye, the science guy, says, just remember, everybody you meet knows something you don't. So let's make today about just showing genuine, really powerful and authentic interest in others as a way of increasing your overall presence. I'm Nadia Velchik, and for more tips and ideas about how you can come across as the very best version of yourself, please go onto my website, which is nadiaspeaks.com.
You are watching HybriCON. I'm Ursula Buerta, and I have the honor to interview Tony Sham on marketing. Tony, I love how your eyes light up
Thanks, Ursula.
when you speak about marketing.
I wish that girls would have told me that many years ago, but so be it.
It's never too late. There's always a time for something. I want to know, we spoke about the principles of marketing, and
Yes.
I would like us just to finish up your last 3 principles
Yes.
out of the 5.
Yes. So the first is your messaging strategy. We have a saying. We say, don't ask for a kiss on the first date.
No.
Understand that the best you can ask for in the first time you contact somebody is their attention. That's as much as you can expect from somebody. A lot of marketing says sign up on the dotted line, and I'm not writing that off. Sometimes you do just in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
But generally, the best you can expect is their attention, in whatever way you're drawing their attention. Reading your article, watching your video, signing up for your blog, newsletter, whatever. And then you have to understand how you take them on with each step. The common jargon that we use in marketing is the funnel. And the
Yes.
funnel is a great illustration because it speaks of people coming in and eventually finding their way down till the point where they come out. And I like that illustration, but there's one thing wrong with it. The funnel is upturned. It's not pointing down, it's pointing up. People come in at the bottom of your funnel. And you've got to find a way to take them up because gravity is not your friend. Gravity takes them out of the funnel.
Oh, wow.
You've got to look for small, we call them micro steps, that are going to keep people engaged, keep them in there, keep them moving until when the time is right, they come out at the other end as your paying customers.
I love that because I think we live in such an instant times.
Yes.
Everything's go. Why aren't they paying? Why aren't they buying my product?
Yes.
Grab their attention first.
There's a balance. I mean, obviously people have to be buying your product, but don't expect too much too soon. Understand, especially in business to business, that the marketing you do today may only reap a benefit in a year, in 6 months' time. And if you don't have the patience that goes along with it, you may waste it.
So plant that seed, water it.
Yes.
So can you tell me more about nurturing relationships?
Well, how are you going to keep those people, how are you going to keep their attention? And it's a balance. It's a balance because on the one hand, you want to be regular. Keep in touch, I say. Keep in touch regularly. People ask me, how often is regularly?
Yes.
I say, I can't give you a rule. It depends. Every business is different. What is that interval that people are going to say, I still remember you, but, oh no, it's not, it's her or it's him again, and you're overloading me here, and they can end the relationship in one click by saying, take me out of here. Those are the kind ones. The unkind ones, get your stuff and just delete it as soon as it gets there. So there's a delicate journey that you're on, and this is what makes it difficult. I can't give you, 4 things, 5 things, do that. And because every business is different. But how do you keep in touch with those people? So you have to be regular. I think regularity, if there's one rule I give people, communicate with your network. This is both your customers and your people who've given you their attention regularly. Why do I say that? Because not everybody has a need for your product or service on the day that they first encounter you.
Yes.
But on the day that they have a need, who are they going to remember? It better be you. So you have to be subtle. You have to keep in play. You have to keep reminding people in the most gentle way that I'm out there. They've already given you attention. They've already got the essential gist of what you're about, and everybody's on a different journey. So we move them along, and for sure, when people are ready, we not quite as gentle. We wanna challenge them because sometimes you can just be nurturing people forever, and that's not always a problem. Sometimes you're going to nurture somebody and they're never going to become your customer. But there are people who are ready to become your customer. You better harvest when the signs are there.
When they're ready. And I think something so important to what you say is with being gentle in that relationship.
Yes.
Because I think people can smell desperation from a mile away.
Yes.
So you don't want that desperate, buy my product. Just let them know.
Yes. In fact, if you could make the argument, how much longer are you going to live without the benefits that you're getting from using my service? I'm being a bit linguistic here. But, and there's a point. There has to be a point. Otherwise, the marketing is futile, where people say, I get it now. Let me subscribe. Let me pay you for your service, whatever it is.
So really with these principles, this is where you were saying we can play with it, test it out, see what works for you, what doesn't work for you.
This is your palette, really. There's all kinds of colors on there, and you've got to find the best combination that works for you and your product.
Now, how can people work with you and your product?
I just want to tell you one more thing before I tell you.
Okay.
People deal with people.
People deal with people.
And I say this because I see a lot of people trying digital marketing at this stage. It's pervasive. It's all over. And some of the digital marketing becomes quite impersonal. I'm going to deal with your website. I'm going to deal with your funnel. And I may never ever get to hear from a person. And I think they're losing out because you have to personalize it somewhere. And there has to be a point where a human being comes out from behind the system, and you know how much easier it is when you know somebody to say yes than if you're dealing with a system.
I love that. I want to add to that because I'm building my website, and I was sitting with a friend and she works in that space.
Yes.
And she said, that was the big thing she said to me, make it personal, make it a human being.
Yes.
That when we land on this page, I'm dealing with a person.
Absolutely.
And not this constructed thing.
Yes.
So people deal with people.
Yes.
Do you want to just round up, what are the 5 points again?
Differentiation. Why should they use your product and service rather than your competitors? Who is it for?
Okay.
Who is it for? Don't ask for too much too soon. Be patient. Marketing is always the long game. Now, the next one is people deal with people. And in between there is communicate regularly. Don't lose those people who've given you that precious thing, the most precious thing that they have to give you, their attention. They're giving you your attention.
Yes.
Use it wisely, keep it in place. So those are the five things that are. There are many others. Those are the 5 most important things.
I love that because it's 5 for your hand. We can remember
Yes.
this. I'm going to write it down right after this and start applying it to my business.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your valuable knowledge.
Yes.
Where can people connect with you?
Probably the best way is through my LinkedIn profile.
Tony Sham? Go
Tony
find him.
Sham.
Tony
Yep.
Sham?
It'll be in the footnotes of the. Two main areas that I am involved in. One is I'm actually a direct marketer, and there's still a space in the marketplace for direct marketing, i.e. I tell you about my product, not waiting for you to be interested in my product. And the other is education. I do training and webinars on a regular basis. So those are the two main areas that I'm of my business. And in direct marketing, there's still a few, not still, there are some brave people who are still conducting direct marketing campaigns. A lot of people have been scared off a bit from direct marketing. And here's the thing, they're getting excellent results from their marketing campaigns. The thing I like about direct marketing is it goes, especially in the space of business to business, it goes where your target market hangs out. Wherever they hang out, and it doesn't wait for them to come to you. Websites, and I love websites, funnels, all of these things are relying on people coming to you and becoming interested in you. You're going to them. And sometimes there are some people who've never heard, you're going to introduce something, they might not have even heard of that, but it connects with them.
They resonate.
Immediately. But I'm not, there's much more to marketing than just direct marketing. That's simply my specialty. And then I teach on two things, marketing strategy, as we've done here, where we would go into more depths into it. And the other is, I love email marketing. Sometimes people think it's a bit controversial, but that's the medium that I understand very well, and it's working beautifully right now in October 2022. There are people who are getting great results from that medium. But I'm not here to promote only email marketing. It's part of the bigger picture. So you have to have websites. You have to have all the other things that go with it. But that's a way of really getting to people.
I love it. I love a really good email newsletter. I think they can be very powerful.
Absolutely. There's two kinds of email. There's email where I send a mail to somebody who's never heard from you before. I've got to be brief, I've got to be interesting, I've got to be challenging, and I've got to spell out what it is. It's quite a juggling act in a little bit of space like that.
Is that like a cold calling?
It's a bit like cold calling, yes.
Okay.
Then there's email marketing to people who already know you and have already heard of you. There's no better medium there. Now you're talking in a different tone, you're talking more intimately, and for my money, that's the best way of keeping in touch. Newsletters, blogs, invitations to events, all of these things build up. Sometimes are just taking that person another little tick higher in the upturned funnel.
So keeping contact regularly. You do practice what you preach.
Absolutely.
We've come to the end of our show.
Yes.
Do you have any closing thoughts you want to share with our viewers?
Yes, I think that if you're going to do marketing, do it with a bit of energy and enthusiasm, and inject, if you're a small operation, inject a bit of your own personality and makeup into it, because that's part of what makes you unique. And you're not going to appeal to everybody, but there are people who see what you do and like what you do, and we're all different, thank goodness. So, that's my going.
So have that twinkle in your eye as Tony Sham has when you do your marketing. Thank you so much, Tony.
Thanks,
It's
Ursula.
been so
It's
lovely.
Been fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And thank you for joining us on HybriCON.